Great real estate agents all have one thing in common. They have mastered the basics. And if you want to grow in 2026, you are not going to want to miss this video. I am going to be sharing the 8 things that you should be focused on if you are a new or even a newer real estate agent. And number one is getting experience as fast as possible. And if I were just starting out again, I would be immediately connecting with another more experienced agent whose business I admire and want to emulate. And I would see if they would be willing to mentor me, even if it's on an informal basis. That is such a great way to get experience. And the other thing that I encourage you to do is shadow other agents in your market. This could be within your brokerage. It could be another agent that you have just connected with and would like to learn from. Going on appointments with other agents who are more experienced than you is such a great way to fast track your success. You want to immerse yourself in the business as fast as you possibly can. And the best way to do that is to connect with another agent who is more experienced and running more appointments than you are. Number two is building your database. And I feel like this is such a cliche saying because we hear it all the time that it's like, oh yeah, build my database. But it is as simple as breaking it down to adding 5 people to your database every single week. That is completely achievable. And if we say you do that, let's say 50 weeks a year, maybe you take a week off for the holidays and maybe a week vacation. If you're adding 5 people to your database 50 weeks out of the year, you're talking about 250 contacts annually going into your database. You don't even need a massive database to be able to generate a lot of sales in real estate. You just need one that's very focused and engaged. And if you are having those daily real estate conversations and adding people to your database on a consistent basis, it's going to grow very quickly. Number three is knowing your market stats on demand. Inevitably, when you are in real estate, it could be your first day or your 20th year, you are going to get asked over and over again, hey, how's the market? It's just a very natural question for someone to ask. And you need to be able to respond with stats. And something that I always like to reply to that question with is, are you curious about a certain area? Because inevitably, most people want to know about their neighborhood or their city, sometimes even their county. And you need to be able to rattle off stats like it's your job, because it really is your job to know the market at all times and have a pulse of what is going on in your market. At a minimum, if someone asks that question, you should be able to tell them what the average or median sale price is, along with average or median days on the market, and how many homes are currently active in the specific market that they're interested in. I would even recommend taking it a little bit further and being able to share with them how quickly homes are moving in terms of an absorption rate factor and also knowing stats on a neighborhood basis. You can start bigger with county stats, and then once you master those, break it down into city and then start focusing on individual neighborhoods. Number four is lead gen. And this is one of the most important habits that you need to get into when you are in real estate. It starts from day one of being able to know that lead gen is a non negotiable. And I will be the first person to say that you're not going to feel like doing it every single day. Motivation is very fleeting and it's great when we have it, but we've got to have the discipline on a daily basis to complete our lead gen activities. Now, what those activities are going to vary for every agent depending on what your lead pillars are in your business. But you have to be consistent and you have to know that you have created your schedule around carving out time for lead gen on a daily basis. I recommend at least 5 days a week, especially when you are new to the business. And then as things progress and your business gets more consistent, you can likely scale back to 2 to 3 days a week. Again, depending on what your lead gen pillars are in your business and how you have other systems set up. Number five is nurturing your database and showing love to your sphere. We as real estate agents frequently get caught up in the hamster wheel of generating new leads. And I'm not saying that's not important, it is, but it is much easier to nurture your current database and love on your people than it is to continually bring in new business. I always kind of chuckle at cable companies and cell phone companies because they're always offering new customers these incredible discounts and then leaving their existing customers out in the cold. And I do not subscribe to that at all. Love on your people and it will pay you back tenfold. Do it genuinely. Nurture those relationships as if you would your friendships. And at least in my experience, in my years in real estate, I have become friends with 90% of my clients because it is simply a relationship. I am not reaching out to them saying, hey, do you know of anyone looking to buy or sell? Gives me the ick even just saying that. Approach it from a genuine relationship standpoint. And I promise you, not only will it be a lot more fun, but you are going to have these wonderful friendships that come out of your business. And those people are going to be singing your praises on a regular basis because they want to support your business. Number 6 is communicate with value to your database. And this is another one that I feel like has become so cliche. We hear, lead with value, give value, provide value. But what does that really mean? To me, that means that when I'm communicating with my database, if I'm reaching out to them, there has to be a reason that I feel like it's going to help them in some form or fashion. It may not even be real estate related. It could be something that is providing information about a new development in the community or something that is going to cause traffic issues. But if I am reaching out to my database before I send anything, in particular an email, because that's more of a mass approach, I am asking myself, is this something that is going to help them in some way? Or am I just sending this trying to get a response? And if the answer is the latter of that, it is time to stop and regroup. We are here to be a resource for our clients. And within that, we've really got to ask ourselves, what are we sending to them? Is it going to help them? Is it going to alert them of something that's happening in the community? Is there going to be a change in their home value because there's a data center going, across the street? That's an example for Northern Virginia. But really, you have to immerse yourself into the community and stay current on what's happening so that you are able to provide that information to your database and not constantly be trying to sell them on something or get them to refer you business. That is a very salesy tactic and does not provide value to them. Number 7 is setting small, daily, attainable goals. And this is the wash, rinse, repeat cycle of growing your real estate business. And it will really never stop. It will evolve over time. But you need to get in the habit of knowing what you're doing on a daily basis and setting those, quite frankly, boring, repetitive goals. An example would be you set a goal to have 5 real estate related conversations on a daily basis. Conversations could be online too. I'm not implying that it needs to be face to face, but you need to have goals in your business that are essentially laying a brick at a time to help your business grow. And if you don't know what you're doing on a daily basis, I can promise you your income is not going to get where you want it to be. Real estate businesses, the agents that are just incredible on a annual basis and year after year are hitting their goals, it's because they are dialed in on a daily basis. When you set that goal, if you are business planning this time of year, and let's say you set a goal of I'm going to sell 15 million in volume in 2026. That's great, but that's way up here. What are you going to do on a daily basis that's going to get you to that goal? And those have got to be your non-negotiables. It's so easy to get distracted in real estate. We wear so many hats, there's so many things going on. You have got to set your schedule up so that you know that you've got time set aside to make sure that you are checking off those daily goal items that are ultimately going to help you accomplish your quarterly and then your annual goal. Number 8 is creating an unforgettable client experience, both when you are working with them and long after the sale. Client experience is everything, and I think that year after year it becomes more and more important. The majority of people who work with a real estate agent really like that agent. But then if you look at the stats, the majority of them also do not go back and work with that agent a second or third time simply because they forgot about them. And that is on you as the agent. It is our job to take care of our clients for a lifetime, basically, as long as they will allow us the privilege of taking care of them. So you start out by building your client experience when you are working with them throughout the transaction. I'm not going to go too into the weeds on that, but it needs to be a memorable experience. Inevitably, in real estate, problems are going to pop up. We are in a problem business, and it's not about problems, it's about how you solve and handle those problems. And then once you get them to closing, it's how you nurture that relationship years to come. We have a very long sales cycle in real estate, depending on what market you're in, averages 7 to 12 years. So you've got to make sure that you are showing up for them in the meantime so that they don't simply forget about you. A lot of times, agents don't get repeat business, not because they didn't do a really great job, but because then they failed to keep in touch and follow up over the years so that when that client was ready to transact again, they also came back to them to work together. Growing your real estate business can be overwhelming, but it truly is not as complicated as it sounds. It's in those small daily tasks that are really going to make you that great agent. And when you are a brand new agent, you have got to make sure that you are learning as fast as you possibly can. Become the expert in your market. Make sure you are building those systems within your business to automate your follow up, to build your database, and to brush up on your skills every single week so that you are constantly improving your client experience. I hope you got some value from today's video. If you have any questions about becoming a great real estate agent, drop them in the comments below. I always love hearing from you. And as always, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.